Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from watching Maleficent 2, Mistress of Evil. Now when it comes to the 2014 Maleficent movie, it certainly was quite a base breaker for many Disney fans, with some of them welcoming this new version of Maleficent, while others expressed severe disappointment from it. And it seems like this film has fixed a few of the issues that I had with the original Maleficent, but not all of them. Still, it is a pretty entertaining dark fantasy film, and if you're a fan of the original, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy this one. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that 5 years after the events of the first Maleficent, Princess Aurora has once again fallen in love with Prince Philip, for real this time, and Philip suggests an alliance to allow his kingdom and her fantasy creatures of Moors to basically come together and live in harmony. Maleficent, played again by Angelina Jolie, however, is not very confident that it'll actually work. And the one who's even less of a fan of it is Queen Ingress, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, who's Philip's mother. So when things go wrong, when the two kingdoms collide, it descends into a full-blown out war when Maleficent and her fantasy creatures have to once again face off against a human kingdom, but this time it's against Philip's mother, Ingress, and her army of soldiers who use iron weapons and magical experiments to make them a formidable threat to our heroes. So, one thing that I liked about this film more than the previous one is that certain characters I was annoyed by are given dramatically reduced roles. For example, the three fairies, who were basically completely butchered in the original film. They still aren't exactly very funny or very memorable, but their screen time is heavily reduced, and there were even some moments where I legitimately found them hilarious. Not only that, but Prince Philip goes from being a third wheel in this film to actually having some legitimately cool character moments. I don't think he's as good as, say, the Prince Philip from the animated film, but for an alternate take, I don't think it's that bad. The same could be said for King John, who was mostly played for comic relief in the original animated film, and here, let's just say he's a way better king than King Stefan from the first film. But of course, the big new character to show up is Queen Ingress, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's Michelle Pfeiffer. She owns the role, to be very clear, and her Queen of War type makes her seem almost like a Game of Thrones character thrown into this fantasy world. Well, Game of Thrones when it didn't go off the deep end. Another thing that I liked about this film is that it expands on the lore of the world. It explains more of the magic system, the various flora and fauna of the world, and even new magical races that we hadn't heard of before. And even explores a little more of Maleficent's own kind, as you've probably seen in the trailers. That's where Ed Skrein and Chiwetel Ejiofor come into the movie. And when it comes to their characters, they play their parts really well, and honestly, I would like to see more of them in a follow-up if they're planning on it. Now, it's true that, much like the original film, some bits of the writing can get a little iffy. That's especially the case when it comes to the final battle. Visually, the final battle is very impressive. It had a lot of great build-up. It has a lot of outstanding visual effects, and the actual fighting is pretty entertaining, even for a PG-13 film. But I do feel that certain moments of it could have been ironed out a little bit, some lines could have been rewritten, and that one or two moments that should have a huge dramatic tension weren't so neutered feeling. Still, I do consider it better than the original, having better characters, a better story, and mostly just a more interesting take on the alternate universe Sleeping Beauty tale. So, like I said, if you enjoyed the original, you'll probably love this one. I'm going to give Maleficent Mistress of Evil a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.